I never thought there'd come a day when I'd be afraid to tell my own story. People say the truth is easy to speak, but when no one wants to hear your truth, it starts rotting inside you. My name? Forget it. Names don't matter here. I'm just another face you pass on the street, another man who learned too late that his pain doesn't count, that his voice doesn't carry weight, that when he bleeds, people look the other way. Because I'm a man, and men don't break, right? This isn't a story about revenge. It's not about winning or losing. It's about what happens when the world decides your suffering is invisible, when the people who should protect you become the ones who hurt you most, and when you scream into the void, all you hear back is silence. I was 26 when I met her. Sarah. That's not her real name, but it doesn't matter anymore. She had this way of looking at you that made you feel seen, really seen, like you mattered, like your thoughts, your dreams, your fears, they all had weight.
I'd been alone for a long time before her. Not physically alone, but you know that kind of loneliness that sits in your chest even when you're surrounded by people? The kind that makes you wonder if anyone would notice if you just disappeared one day. She filled that space, or at least I thought she did. The first few months were good, better than good. She'd text me in the morning before I even woke up. She'd remember small things I mentioned in passing. My favorite coffee, the song I hummed when I was nervous, the way I hated talking on the phone but would do it for her anyway. I thought I was lucky. I thought I'd found someone who understood me. But looking back now, I realized she wasn't learning about me. She was studying me, finding my weaknesses, mapping out exactly where to strike when the time came. It started small, so small I didn't even notice at first. She'd make a comment about my friends. They don't really get you like I do. Or she'd question why I needed to see my family so often. Don't you want to spend time with me instead? I told myself she just loved me, that she wanted me close, that this was what it meant to be needed. But slowly, carefully, she began cutting the threads that connected me to everyone else, one by one, until I was standing alone, and the only hand I could reach for was hers. My friends stopped calling, not because they didn't care, but because I'd canceled on them so many times. Because every time I made plans, she'd have a crisis, a bad day, an anxiety attack, something that needed me right then, right there, and I went. Every single time, because that's what you do when you love someone, right? You show up. But she never showed up for me. When I had a rough day at work, she'd sigh like I was burdening her. When I tried to talk about my stress, she'd flip it around. Make it about how my stress was stressing her out, how I wasn't considering her feelings. I started keeping things to myself, swallowing my frustrations, pretending everything was fine even when it wasn't, because I didn't want to be a burden, because I didn't want to lose her, because somewhere along the way, I'd started believing that I didn't deserve to complain, that my problems were small, that as a man, I should just handle it. The fights started after about a year, and I mean real fights. Not disagreements, not arguments, fights. She'd scream at me over things that didn't make sense. I left a dish in the sink. I didn't text back fast enough. I looked at another woman, except I didn't. I wasn't even aware there was another woman nearby. But in her mind, I had, and that was enough. She'd call me names, worthless, pathetic, ungrateful. She'd tell me I was lucky she put up with me, that no one else would want someone like me. And I believed her, not because I was weak, but because when you hear something enough times from someone you love, it starts to sound like truth. I tried to leave once, packed a bag, told her I couldn't do this anymore. She cried, she begged, she told me she'd change, that she was just scared of losing me, that her last relationship had damaged her, and she was projecting that onto me. She made me feel guilty for wanting to leave, so I stayed, and things got worse. The emotional abuse I could almost handle. I'd grown numb to the insults, the manipulation, the constant walking on eggshells. But then it became physical, not in the way people imagine. She didn't punch me, didn't hit me with closed fists. She'd shove me during arguments, throw things at me, slap me across the face when she was angry, scratch my arms, my neck, my face. And when I'd try to defend myself, when I'd grab her wrists to stop her from hitting me again, she'd scream that I was hurting her, that I was the abuser. I remember one night she came at me with her keys, dug them into my chest hard enough to draw blood. I grabbed her hand and pushed her away. Not hard, just enough to create space. She stumbled back and immediately started crying, told me I'd shoved her, that I was violent, that she was scared of me. I looked down at the blood seeping through my shirt and felt this wave of confusion crash over me. Was I the problem? Was I really the one hurting her?
I started recording our fights, not because I wanted to, but because I needed proof. Proof that I wasn't crazy, that I wasn't imagining this. I never showed those recordings to anyone. I was too ashamed. Because how do you tell people that your girlfriend hits you? How do you admit that as a man, you're afraid of a woman who's 5'4" and 120 pounds? They'd laugh, or worse, they wouldn't believe you. So I stayed silent. The breaking point came on a Tuesday. I remember because Tuesdays were usually quiet, peaceful. I came home from work exhausted. It had been a brutal day. My boss had chewed me out in front of the whole team for a mistake that wasn't even mine. I felt humiliated, defeated. I just wanted to come home and decompress. But Sarah was waiting for me, and she was angry. She'd gone through my phone, found messages between me and a coworker, a woman. We'd been discussing a project, completely professional. But in Sarah's mind, I was cheating. She started screaming before I even got my shoes off, calling me a liar, a cheater, telling me I'd been sneaking around behind her back. I tried to explain, showed her the full conversation, proved it was about work. She didn't care. She grabbed my phone and threw it against the wall, shattered the screen. Then she came at me, fist swinging. I backed away, tried to calm her down, but she wouldn't stop. She hit me in the face, split my lip. I tasted blood, and something inside me just broke. Not in an angry way, in a defeated way. I walked out, didn't say a word, just grabbed my keys and left. I sat in my car for 3 hours, bleeding, shaking, crying. I called my brother. He was the only person I had left, the only one who might still care. He answered on the 4th ring. I tried to tell him what happened, tried to explain, but the words wouldn't come out right. He told me to come over, so I did. When I showed up at his door, he took one look at me and his face changed. "Who did this to you?" he asked. I couldn't say it, couldn't admit it out loud. "Sarah," I finally whispered. He didn't laugh, didn't question it. He just pulled me inside and let me talk. For the first time in 2 years, someone listened. I told him everything. The abuse, the manipulation, the fear, the shame, and he believed me. That night, I decided I was done. I wasn't going back. But leaving her was only the beginning of the nightmare. She called me the next morning, crying, apologizing, begging me to come home. I told her no, told her it was over. That's when her tone changed. She told me if I didn't come back, she'd tell everyone I hit her, that she'd go to the police, that she had bruises to prove it. My blood went cold. "I never touched you," I said. "Doesn't matter," she replied. "Who do you think they'll believe?" And she was right. 2 days later, the police showed up at my brother's house. She'd filed a report, claimed I'd been abusing her for months, that I'd shoved her, hit her, controlled her. She had photos, bruises on her arms, scratches on her neck, all self-inflicted, or from the times I'd tried to defend myself. But no one asked my side of the story. I was arrested, handcuffed in front of my brother, taken to the station like a criminal. I tried to explain, told them about the recordings, the proof I had, but my phone was at the apartment, the one I couldn't go back to because there was now a restraining order against me. I spent the night in a cell, staring at the ceiling, wondering how my life had turned into this. The charges were eventually dropped, not because anyone believed me, but because she didn't follow through with the case. She'd gotten what she wanted. She'd ruined me. I lost my job, my reputation, my sense of self. People who knew us took her side because she was the victim, because she cried in public and played the part perfectly. And I was the man, the aggressor, the one who must have done something to deserve it. No one asked if I was okay. No one checked on me. I was invisible. I spent months trying to rebuild. Therapy helped a little, but the damage was deep. I didn't trust people anymore. Didn't trust myself. I kept thinking about all the times I could have left earlier, all the red flags I ignored. But mostly, I thought about how no one cared, how my pain didn't matter because I was a man. There's no support system for men like me, no hotline that takes you seriously, no shelter that will accept you. When I tried to talk about it online, I was called a liar, told I was trying to undermine real victims, accused of hating women. I didn't hate women. I hated what one woman did to me, and I hated
that I wasn't allowed to say it out loud. Years have passed now. I've moved on, sort of. I'm not with anyone. I don't think I can be. The trust is gone. But I'm still here, still standing, barely. And I'm telling this story, not because I want sympathy, not because I want people to feel sorry for me. I'm telling it because somewhere out there's another man going through what I went through, and he thinks he's alone. He thinks his pain doesn't matter. I need him to know it does. Your pain matters. Your voice matters. Your story matters. Even if the world tells you it doesn't. Even if they laugh or doubt or turn away. You're not crazy. You're not weak. You're human, and you deserve to be heard. I was a man, so my pain didn't matter. But I'm speaking anyway, because silence only protects the ones who hurt us, and I'm done protecting her.